Welcome back, everyone, to Stock Options for You. Hope everyone's having a good day. Today, in this video, we are going to go over entry and exit points when making your stock option trade. Whether you're buying a call, whether you're buying a put, this will show you just a simple example of when you could have potentially gotten in and out. If you've watched the previous video on supply and demand zones, you kind of already know how to draw your lines. So today we're just going to be quickly going over a live example, which is actually from today's date of making this video. It's January 10th, 2023, at around 12:30 p.m. Central Time. So the day is actually not over, but I just wanted to kind of show a somewhat live example of potentially what trades you could have done today. So I'm going to go ahead and share my TD Ameritrade screen here. Again, as you know, if you've watched the previous video, we've set our supply and demand zones here, these red lines. And if you've watched that video, generally, I personally don't trade in about that first hour and a half of the day. So the market here in Central Time opens at 8:30. So I'm kind of around that 10:05 mark where I've marked this blue line. So I've charted my supply and demand zones based on just the data from open to this blue line. That's how I get these red lines. And then now, and I've done that on the 5-minute chart. And then now I've switched over to the 1-minute chart. And this is where I'm actually potentially making trades throughout the day. Again, we're only looking to make 1 or 2 trades. You don't want to get too crazy and get caught up in it. If you're doing 1 to 2 trades max a day, then hopefully you're hitting the right points and making that profit, and again, not kind of getting sucked into staring at the chart all day long, because I'm sure most of us have other lives outside of this, and maybe we have other jobs, we have kids, we have things we need to do, so we don't want to spend too much time just staring at a screen all day. So kind of getting back to this, so if we look after around this 10:05 mark, you can see we have our zones here. Again, we're looking for 3 green or 3 red candlesticks in a row to kind of make our entry and exit points, and kind of following along the different zones, within those different zones. So as we kind of trek through here, we don't necessarily see 3 in a row. We're seeing 1, 2, 1, 2, and so forth. It's kind of making its movements. The market's kind of deciding what it wants to do. We do kind of see some hovering around this zone here. Potentially here we do see 3 green in a row, and it is kind of coming off of the bottom of this. So potentially we have a chance to hop in here. Now, if you were to hop in here, the thing is that, as you can see, it immediately drops there. But we only have 2 red candlesticks here. So yes, this may be a sense of panic. And honestly, if I were to see this kind of fluctuate here and have this big red drop, I may actually get out and may take a small loss here. As you can see, though, hindsight 20/20, if we were to just hold on for a couple minutes, you notice it takes a massive drop, but then it bounces back here, and now we get 1, 2, and 3. Potentially you hop in here because it is bouncing off of, it's broken through actually this zone, but it has bounced. So this could just be kind of a random, big, large trade or big whale just selling out, just taking their profits or whatnot. But hypothetically, you could, hop in here at this point, or a little bit right after that, where it maybe was green but fluctuating with red. Again, these are 1 minute candlesticks, so every few seconds this could be going from this red one could be going green, then red, green, then red, and so forth. But we've gotten kind of a signal here. So you could potentially get in there and you notice it does bounce back. Even if you were to get in here and you held on, I personally wouldn't have. I would have been too scared. But if you held on, sure enough, it pops up. But let's say you don't even get in here, and this comes back down, and we're hovering around this bottom zone here. Now we're looking for the next 3, in this case, green candlesticks. So we have 1, 2, 3. So potentially we're getting in around here, and you notice it does pop up a little bit. Me personally, I would be getting out around here. That's just me because I'm taking that small 5, maybe 10% gain. You could hold on because we're not getting a signal that it's going to change. If you do hold on, then sure enough, it pops up here, and definitely as it's popping up here, we're going to get out. And the reason why is because it's hitting this top zone. So we got in around here, which was a little bit above this bottom zone. Potentially could have gotten out here with a quick gain, or since it is kind of in the middle here, hey, maybe it is going to take another kick up, and we haven't really gotten a signal that we haven't started getting reds right after that. So you could hold on, but definitely once it gets here, it could break through, sure, but you don't want to take that chance. So you would get out here. Again, we don't see 3 red at the moment, so you're not really taking action, but it is kind of trending down and coming down to this zone here. So technically, 1, 2, 3, you could be getting in, like a little bit right after that, and buying a put. In these green cases, we're buying call options. In the red candlesticks, for it going down, we're buying put options. So you could potentially get in there. It ended up coming all the way down to here at one point, but it is approaching this, so you may want to get out around there. You may get a 4 or 5% gain on that. It really just depends how how quickly it's moving up and down at within that particular minute. But yeah, sure enough, a couple greens, a red, a green. You don't necessarily want to take action here because you don't know if it's just gonna kind of bounce up and down, bounce up and down. So we're just kind of waiting. It's kind of in between these 2 zones. Sure enough, here we have 1, 2, 3. These are kind of minor ones. They're 50-50, but if you do kind of take 1, 2, 3 into account, you could hop in, right after that. It takes a little bit of drop, but you're still just kind of waiting. And then sure enough, we get this big kick up. Once it kind of hits here, right here, I would potentially get out. I don't know if it's going to break through, but you've made your little bit of profit. If you did hold on, wow, you got a big jump, right? Definitely at that point we'd be getting out. But again, me personally, I would probably hop out here. Again, this is a lot of trial and error and experience, and everyone's going to kind of gain their own strategy, if you will, within this concept. But kind of working off of this chart. So it did pop up here. Another entry exit point would be here, buying a put. So we have 1, 2, and 3 red candlesticks. It's broken through this first zone and it's kind of approaching this one. So, it's close to this, but since we're getting the 3 candlesticks going down, you could potentially jump in there, kind of where it's turning green. You would jump in there. Sure enough, you get a big kick down, and you would essentially hop out somewhere around this or this. Again, as you're entering these trades, me personally, I am looking every second, after I make that trade. So I make the trade and I'm literally just sitting there watching the fluctuation, on my TD Ameritrade screen and seeing, oh, okay, I've made 1%, I've made 2%. Oh, it's going down. Oh, I'm up to like 5 or 6%. Boom, I'll get out, or you get a big drop like this. Oh, I'm at 8%. Boom, get out, don't sit there and wait. Just take it and go. So sure enough, it hits this zone. We have a little bit of fluctuation up and down, but no 100% indication where it's going to go. Is it going to break through farther down? Is it going to go back up and start playing in this zone now? We only have 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, just deciding what to do. Again, here, no clear kind of inclination of what's going to happen. This is a little dangerous at times because we do get the 1, 2, and 3 signal. However, that signal is happening close to this resistance zone here, right? The supply demand zone where it's approaching it. So yeah, it could keep going a little bit more, but since it's getting fairly close to this, we want to be a little bit careful there because it could head back down because now it's playing in these two zones. Again, potentially you could have gotten in here if you wanted to take the chance, but then you'll see you're not going to get much of a profit there, and then almost immediately after it starts dropping. So this, if you got in and didn't act fast enough, you may have taken a loss on this. And again, the reason why we wouldn't pull the trigger here is because it's approaching this line. So we almost want to try to play for some that are, at the bottom or the top of the line or like somewhat in the middle, as you can see on the previous ones. So we do have a little bit of room to work with. Here, it's kind of cutting it close. And then sure enough, 1, 2, 3, again, same concept here. Like, would we want to do a put? Well, you technically could, but it's approaching this line. So if you did that, yeah, you may get lucky, and sure enough, it drops down a little bit, but it could have done something like this and just peaked and popped back up. As you can see after that, it does do that, this is almost live right now. We have 1, 2, and 3. It's bouncing off the bottom, and potentially you can get in here, and it's kind of hovering right now at this zone. I don't know what's going to happen here. We're a little bit live right now, but if you were to potentially get in here, let's we can see what's going to happen. Again, not a foolproof system, but for the most part, again, you're just looking for 1 to 2 trades max a day. I would realistically say 1, and if you hit it, great. But again, there are other factors that go into play. If there's specific news that comes out around this time, that could, sway markets, or, sometimes these hedge funds or whales, they come in and they just want to liquidate a bunch of, trades that they have that could cause some big fluctuations, such as what we saw here, so it really just depends. But hopefully this quick video gives you an idea of certain spots that you can actually enter and exit. And we'll definitely come up with some additional examples, down the road. And hopefully this will help everyone out there. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope you have a wonderful and profitable day. Take care.